Hey guys, welcome back to my shop. Today I'm going to do something, it's not really a project, but it's in preparation of a project. So I want to try to take this rough board, some kind of rosewood. It's really heavy and dense, but I don't know if you can see it from there, but it's really rough. It's been rough cut, and I want to take it to what is it, S4S, S6S, I guess. Get it all nice and prepared, nicely done, all with hand tools. I was watching a Rob Cosman video, and I like the title, From Rough to Ready. And let's see if we can take this board from rough to ready and then maybe make a project out of it. Alright, let's get started. So now that you can see a close-up, it's pretty rough. It's kind of bowed. So I'm going to start with one side, try to get that side flat, and then a face, and then go on from there. So I'm going to start with this side, and I'm hoping the grain, I'm reading the grain and it says it's going that way, so we'll see. Start with what is that, number 6. See how we do. Now that I'm smelling it, I actually believe it's Coca-Cola. Okay, so now that I have one face completely planed down and flat, I'm going to try to do one of the edges, and then I'll have a 90-degree, and then everything will go off of that. Just going to check it for square. A little high over here. The rest of it looks okay. Alright. That was a lot easier than I thought, actually. So now I have a face and an edge. Okay, so now I have one face, clean, flat, and one edge, clean and flat, and 90 degrees to that one. So now what I'm going to do is clean and flat first, this edge right here. But the hardest part is going to have to be, and I need to get it exactly parallel to this. So I'm going to use a marking gauge referencing off of this and marking all the way around. and trying to plane down to that line. And that'll be next. So using the marking gauge, I'm going to try to find the lowest point and mark off of that, make every mark off of that, and then try to plane down from there. So okay, that seems to work. Looks like I'm going to get just over 3 inches off of this. Let's hope. So and you can't see from there, but I can see from here that they're not parallel. This side's a little thicker than this side, so I'm going to be concentrating mostly on this side and then trying to flush it down. What I do have to do is mark all the way around so that I have lines all the way around. Alright, so I got my marks all the way across. I can see them barely because it's dark, but should be enough. And now I'm going to put it in the vise and try to plane it down. Okay, so first I'm going to try to focus here in the front because it's where there's the most to take off, and then try to get a full length pass. It's interesting, this Cocobolo is super hard, but it planes really easily. Okay, so I went way off 90 on that pass. This side is way high, so I gotta focus on this side and try to get myself back down to 90. Let's see how we did. Okay, I'm much better, but I'm still a little high on this side. There we go. Perfect 90. Now, just want to check and see if we stay parallel. Okay, well, that's 3 sides done, right? So 1, 2, 3. Things to watch out for so far. Make sure this is flat. I used some winding sticks to make sure there was no twist. Once that was done, I planed the sides, made sure they were 90 to our face side, and then I made sure they were parallel to each other. Next, we got to do this side right here, which has quite a bit of a concave. Yeah, concave. So I'll have to take off some of the sides, and then after we get that all done, we'll have to make sure that this side is parallel to this side, and then we'll work on the ends, which will be the easiest, I hope. Probably use a shooting board and a saw for that. But I'm going to go get a glass of water. Okay, so now that I have this other face planed, I now have to check it for parallel to the original, our face plane. And I can tell you, it's already much thicker on this side, so I'll have to find the thinnest part. Lock that down. And try to get everything parallel to that. Okay, so now it's basically ready. This is what we call S4S, right? So it's surfaced on 4 sides, 2 faces, and the 2 edges. The ends we could do, but since we're going to be cutting it to a certain length, we usually don't. I'll do one side just to show you how to do it. And then that way when you're cutting off lengths or whatever, the other side gets done at that point. But I'm going to do one side because we'll definitely be using at least one side, so I'll show you how to do that. For this cut, I marked a line up top and a line that goes all the way down the bottom, just to keep my guide. It's not so important, but it's easier because we're going to end up going to the shooting board afterwards. But if we stay as you can see, that's actually a pretty simple cut. Just to check how square we stayed. Pretty square, pretty square. I stayed almost 100% square on from each reference base, which is a little surprising to me, but hey, can't complain. And so now the saw leaves a bit of a rough mark, so you can either just take a hand plane and plane it down, or you could use a shooting board, which is what I'm going to show now. So let me get my shooting board out. So this is a shooting board. It's just a piece of board with a track and a 90-degree fence basically. So you put your work up to it, and you're going to plane down like this, and it'll clean this up, but it'll also make sure it's square. One thing you do want to check with shooting boards is you want to make sure that your fence is very square to your edge right here, to your rail. It does go out of square every once in a while, so you have to square it up. But here, let's show you how it works. You just take your workpiece. I got a little too light of a cut there. And it'll start to clean up the edge. You can see it's starting to clean up. Planing your board. That's pretty clean already. Pretty surprised with this Coca-Cola. It's really hard, but it planes pretty simply. See, it's giving me these really nice shavings. I would call that done. So there we have it. Our piece of wood is now ready to be used for our project. One side's still rough, but that's because once we cut these off, we're going to have to clean up that edge anyway, so there's no point in doing that. But there you go. Nice, ready piece of wood. You know, it still has a little bit of roughness because I was using just the rough tool, but once you get it down to what you're actually going to use it, you use your smoothing plane, or if you're going to sand it, your sandpaper, whatever you're going to do to get it to your final look. But this is basically a ready board to be used. Can't wait to use it. It's actually a beautiful piece of Coca-Cola. Alright, well, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, I got a preview for you. I'm debating whether I should show you this, but yeah, I think I'm going to show you my preview of my next project. Let me get the camera set around, and we'll do a little quick sneak peek. Here it is. So I got this puppy on eBay, really cheaply actually, because it's, well, it's in pretty rough shape, but that was kind of the point, right? I've only gotten the first part of it. The shipper had to ship it in 2 boxes because of the weight. So only the first boxes arrived, but it is a, what is it, a Champion forge and blower and forge post drill number 101. It's from 1897 to 1905, maybe, in that range. It's everything turns really well on it, so I'm excited about that. Everything seems to be working. It's a pretty simple mechanism, but it's pretty complicated, and all the gears have to work and everything has to be really straight. So I can't wait to start restoring this. It should be a really cool video, and stay tuned for it, and it'll be coming, well, I don't know how long it's going to take me, so whenever I'm done, I'll put the video up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.